Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. The honor has been to the apostles and others at Great Millstone who were well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, O fool, like that pushing out this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you Akim, say Shalom. I am the Akira. I'm from the servants of Yahweh, Yahushai camp, coming in with a quick lesson, going into how the Lord will preserve His elect. So this is the book of Psalms, the 34th chapter. Verse 19, it reads, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous." And who are the righteous? The elect, because we're trying to please the Lord and keeping the ways of righteousness. Rehearsing the righteous acts, doing the will, which is teaching, reading, watching these edifying videos. But going back, it says, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous," which an example of this affliction. Alright, an affliction would be this captivity. Because it's hell, man. Alright, everything is against us. The home life, the job or class, the public. We get hate from our own people, from the heathen. So it's just hell, man. We're under a great deal of suffering and distress from them. Alright? And if we're the Lord's elect, the people whom the Lord loves, the people whom the Lord shows compassion, whom He shows mercy to, and what do you think is going to happen? He's going to deliver us, man. So, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. When you look into that word deliver, it means to liberate, to set free, to rescue. So the Lord's about to rescue us from all this hell, because it's really a vexation of the spirit. We hate this place. This ain't our rest. But it goes on to say, He keepeth all His bone. That's like another example of affliction will be, all these adversities coming forth upon the planet Earth. Famine, death, destruction, all that. The sword, we're going to be preserved from all that. So, He keepeth all His bones, not one of them is broken. Which I'm mistaken, the Apostle Gabar uses precept, or you use this and another precept together, which made it sound heavy. Alright, because if I can get out the book of Ephesians, the 5th chapter, verse 30, it says, bear with me. Alright, made the mention. In verse 30, "For we are His members of His body, of His flesh, and of His bones." Alright, so, that body, which is the elect together, comprised as a body of Yahushai. And when we talk about that camp, we're talking about, the elect. Alright, the group of believers. It says, we are His members, we're the members of His bodies, of His flesh, and of His bones. Hey, so that's an example, the Lord's not gonna break any of Yahushai's bones. So how much more, He's not gonna break us down. He's not gonna break us down. And that goes back to Psalms the 34th chapter, going to He keepeth His bones. If I'm mistaken, the other Apostle Gabar used those two precepts together, which that sounds heavy. Alright, but another example would be in the book of Job, the 5th chapter, of how the Lord will preserve His elect. And that's in verse 19. It says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Alright, yea, in 7, there shall not evil touch thee," which the other Apostle Tahar, I remember, was breaking down Revelation, the 6th chapter. If I'm mistaken, it was the 6th chapter. It's been a while. And he was going to what it means, what the word trouble means. Trouble is interchangeable with the word plague, with prophecy. And that seventh trouble, in the Salakia. Alright, in 7, when it says in 7, that's talking about the destruction, ICBM, intercontinental destruction, the thermonuclear destruction. So He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. So all these prophecies, all these perils will be preserved from. And in 7, referring to the nuclear destruction, no evil will touch us, because we're going to be beamed up on chariots, man. And that was in the book of 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter. If I can get that out. It says in verse 17, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." Alright, because these scriptures are supposed to, keep us hopeful and comforted, because, we're constantly vexed. I remember one of the elders, I'm mistaken, from Mississippi, made the mention how, You could be mad at the wife or whatever. Then you just hop on the scriptures, and it's like a portal. You know, you get sucked away into a different planet. Because these scriptures, man, you know, they're our medicine. You know, they believe us. You know, it's like a therapist. You know, these calm us down. You know, we cope with the scriptures. So, you know, going back to Job the 5th chapter made the mention. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. And, you know, going back to verse 20, you had in Isaiah the 65th chapter, it goes on how to say, my servants shall eat, my servants shall drink, my servants shall dance. So the Lord's going to preserve his men and keep his men. He's gonna feed them. All right. So in famine he shall redeem thee from death. Hey, we're not gonna die of starvation. Hey, the scriptures even go into the book of Lamentations. It even goes into how it's a terrible thing. You know, no, it's better to die by the sword than by hunger. Only paraphrasing right there. You know, your inside is eating each other. You know, it's a horrible process and a horrible fate. So the Lord's gonna keep us from that. But it goes on to say, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Alright, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And what did it say in the book of Sirach, the 29th chapter, if I'm mistaken? If I can get that actually, let me get that out. Go bear with me. Woman, shall there be spirits created for vengeance? Alright, so at the 39th chapter, verse 28 says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sword strokes. In a time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And so they are there set out to please the Lord's anger by doing his will. You know. So the Lord says, you know, smite him. Hey, that spirit created is gonna smite. You know, so and so for the Lord's sake. So fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. See? So you're gonna have animals, and you do got animals out here bringing judgment. You know. Hey, you know, you had that model who got her, you know, face ripped off. You know, right as she started, you know, modeling. You know, right around the time she started doing modeling online. You had dog's mauler face. You know, so that was judgment from the Lord. But it goes on to say, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. The point right there was, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. All right, so we're going to be preserved and be calm and collected. You know, be at peace with all these things, because what the Lord's got us, man. You know. Also, if I can get out of the book of Matthew the 16th chapter, I'm gonna end it up right there. It makes the mention. So the Lord's gonna preserve us from all these evils, man. And Lord, what were the elect that we be able to be beamed up on those chariots? But it goes on to say, Matthew the 16th chapter, verse 28. Verily, or actually start with verse 27, so like 27. For the Son of Man, as Yahushua, shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. And the scripture is going to how I shall not meet thee as a man. Alright? So he's going to come back down here in this full-on majesty, in this full-on glory, in this full-on might, in those spiritual bodies, in that spiritual body. Alright, he's going to be perfected. The scripture is going to how no eye has seen nor ear has heard, so we don't even know how those spiritual bodies are going to be. Hey, but we know it's going to be terrible. Did not Samson's mother in the book of Judges told her husband, you know, he was terrible to look upon when she was referring to the angel that she encountered her way? Speaking about Samson, her bearing Samson. Yeah, she did. She said it was a terrible sight to look upon. Really paraphrasing right there. So if an angel was terrible to look upon, how much more Yahushua? How much more the Father? And Yahushua is the express image of the Father. So Yahushua looks exactly like the Father. So they're terrible to look upon. You know, it's gonna be terrible. So, shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. All right, and that's in Revelation, the 21st chapter, if I'm mistaken. I was going to come here to repay the deeds, repair everybody. Because the scriptures going to Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, how, the righteous, it shall be good with them, and with the wicked, it shall be ill with them. And because there's a reward / consequence, which that word consequence could be used positively or negatively. It could be a good consequence or a bad consequence. Every deed has a consequence, man. Every deed has a reward. But it goes on to say, verily, all right, verse 28 says, verily I say unto you, there shall be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. All right, and that automatically proves reincarnation right there, because I would shy tell a generation from 2,000 years ago there'd be some standing here that should not taste of death if we all die within 100 years or so. We're not like our forefathers back in the ancient world that lived 500 plus years. And you had a forefather Mahalalel who literally lived 900 something years old, man. That's ancient right there. But compared to us right now, that's a greater fate right there. That was a greater life to live. But automatically, verse 28 proves reincarnation, because it makes mention there be some standing here which shall not taste of death, because he was referring to the latter times when he shall come back, in the spiritual body, with the chariots. But it goes on to say till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. All right, so that proves how the elect will be preserved on chariot beams. We're not gonna die on this side. We're gonna be preserved, beamed up on those chariots, be taken to our land, and establish the kingdom from there. With that being said, this lesson was edifying. To the next one, I say shalom.